All right, guys, it's installation day for my 60 by 30 shop. Stick around. What's up, guys, and welcome back to In the Shop TV. Well, you heard it right. Today's installation day of my 60 by 30 by 12 shop. Now, with metal buildings, there's several choices of insulation that are typically offered with them. You've got your double bubble, which is basically like a bubble wrap stuff that's a little bit thicker. It's got a foil face on one side and a white face on the finished side on the inside of the shop. Really, that's primarily used a lot more as a moisture barrier. Basically, if you're not familiar with what a moisture barrier is on these buildings, these metal buildings, they get cold inside, the metal's cold, and as the air temperature warms on the outside, you'll get condensation on the metal parts, and the building itself will start to sweat. You'll see water dripping from the ceiling. Your framing on the side will be wet, your tools will get wet, and we definitely don't want that in a space that we're gonna be working in. Another popular choice is what looks just like double bubble, which is a rolled insulation, but it's actually a fiberglass bat, similar to what you would see in a house, but it's a much wider roll. It's like a 6-foot roll or a 5-foot roll. I think it comes in different widths, but that comes in 2-inch, and it also comes in 4-inch as far as I know. That gets put on the metal framing of the building before the siding goes on, and the siding kind of sandwiches it in place. That does provide some R value, and it also acts as a moisture barrier, so it's not a bad option depending upon where you live and what your climate is like. The next, which is spray foam, which is what we're doing here today, is arguably the most expensive. However, when I started pricing it out, I looked at 4-inch insulation, and there wasn't really a whole big difference between them. But the reason why I decided to go with spray foam is because what it does is not just for its excellent insulating properties, but when you go with a horizontal sided building versus a vertical sided building, you're missing horizontal metal supports on the inside, which really make that building a lot more solid and rigid. So the spray foam is going to do exactly that. It's going to hold this building together really tight, make it a lot more solid. Additionally, I'm going to be using a wall covering on the inside, which is going to be vertical in orientation. So I'm going to have to put horizontal pieces across and then put my siding up on the inside, which is really going to make the building super strong. So not only am I getting the best insulating with the spray foam, but I'm also adding strength to the building, which is really important because these buildings are nothing more than glorified tin sheds. So for me, it's a no-brainer. If you're similar in dollar amount to what a 4-inch rolled insulation would cost for spray foam, which is going to give you a higher R value and actually solidify your building for a similar out-of-pocket cost, it just makes perfect sense to do this. However, one really important thing to look for when you're researching spray foam companies is people that lay it on really nice, because if you're not planning on putting a wall covering, this stuff can get kind of ugly looking. So an installer that knows what they're doing and sprays it out really nice and flat is really paramount if you're going to be using spray foam. So we've got 2 trailers that rolled in. We're getting ready to go. I think they're waiting on a third. They're sending 3 crews today so they can bang this whole big building out in one shot. So I think this first hour or so is going to be all prepped, getting everything taped up, tarped up, so that they don't make a mess all over the shop. Let's go inside and take a look. If you guys are wondering why spray foam costs so much money, I mean, the rigs that these guys have to purchase, man, this stuff is not cheap. Pretty cool. They started sealing up the small spaces with an actual spray can, like a handheld can, because the way these panels fit against the metal, you have those voids or space in between there. But you want to do this because if they use the high pressure gun, a lot of it can leak outside of the building, leaving it kind of ugly looking. So it's really good that they did this. So they're putting some fiberglass bat insulation up there on the eaves. Really smart to seal any spray foam from getting out to the eaves. I know you can't see too well what he's doing, but there's a lot of oil coating on these metal posts. And he's taking a cleaner and taking all the oil off of there. This used to prevent rust, but it's really going to help that spray foam stick. So it's just a really smooth job. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it really like takes that tin can away and makes the building feel a lot more solid. So as you guys can see, when they start spraying this stuff, it's really difficult to get it to lay down real smooth. It comes out in almost a liquid form and then it expands rapidly, so you don't really know what it's gonna look like until it reaches full expansion and hardens up. Because of that, you really need someone who's experienced at doing this, because it really comes down to being a feel. And the only way to get that feel where it comes out correctly and lays down smooth is by doing it a lot. So I opted to do 2-inch spray foam on the walls and the ceiling. A lot of people will tend to go a little bit thicker on the ceiling because that's where you get all of your temperature loss. And they'll go 1.5 inch on the walls or 1 inch on the walls. It didn't make that much more difference to me price-wise. I just figured, you know what, this is gonna be my forever shop now, my forever home that I'm building right across the way. The next time I'm leaving this property is when the coroner takes me out of here. So I just kind of wanted to do this once and do it right. Now they know that they've achieved 2 inches because in some of the footage I'm going to show you, they'll go around with kind of a little wire with a piece of tape on it that's marked off at 2 inches, and I'll just kind of poke it in while it's still wet and make sure that they've got the proper coverage on there. Some real important notes if you're planning on doing spray foam. Right here behind you can see one of the uprights, and it is covered with spray foam as well. You'll see a lot of guys that opt not to do that. They leave this bare metal. That's okay, you can get away with that if you plan on doing a wall covering, which I am. However, if you're going to leave this open or exposed, you really need to cover this too, because what happens is, remember we talked about condensation, so the air outside will start to warm, you still have a nice cold metal post right here, and all of a sudden this will start raining and dripping water down all over your floor and whatever you have up against it. You really don't want to do that, so just specify to the guys, if you're not doing a wall covering, that you want all the metal components to be sprayed over to the uprights and the floor base rail as well. These guys really did a fantastic job, and I'm super happy with the product. If any of you guys are in this region in the Southeast and you're interested in who I use to do this, they're called Best Choice Spray Foam LLC. Fantastic company. They sent 3 crews here to ensure that they would have this done real quick. And when I mean real quick, they were out of here by lunchtime. The guys move that fast. That includes everything from prep to spraying to full cleanup to pulling out of the driveway. We're talking about a couple hours. They were super communicative. They said they would be here at a certain time. They were here on that time. They spoke to me beforehand. They confirmed schedules and everything. Really, really happy with that. It's a pet peeve of mine when people just don't communicate with you when you're spending a lot of money. Which brings us to the next thing that you guys are probably all wondering, how much does this cost? So for my building, which is 60 by 30 by 12, I paid just under $9,000. It was $8,935, I think, or something like that, but right around $8,900. Admittedly, I wasn't always such a big fan of spray foam because, well, it's not the most pleasing thing to look at, which is again why you really want to go with somebody who knows what they're doing when they spray this stuff out, because you want something that looks nice. When I was pricing the building out, I priced the building with insulation through different companies, and it came out to be right around a similar amount for a 4-inch rolled insulation. So obviously I knew that spray foam is a vastly superior product because, well, let's face it, you're turning your building into like an igloo cooler. But when it came down to it and you're starting to look at price tags, you know, you could say to yourself, well, if I'm going to spend $9,000 or more, actually, some of the quotes I was getting for a rolled fiberglass insulation versus just under $9,000 for the best insulation product available, it kind of made my choice easy. And remember, we're not just getting insulating properties here, but we are getting the moisture barrier as well, the same as that you would get with a rolled insulation, and we're also adding a structural component to our building, which is a huge deal. There's guys out there that are more expensive. There's guys out there that'll do this even cheaper, but you don't really want to be going too much cheaper than this because, like I said, with this stuff, experience really, really matters a lot. With a rolled insulation, I mean, you kind of just throw it on and put your siding on over it. There's not that much experience that comes with putting that stuff on, or maybe you can do it yourself with like foam boards, which kind of is a time-consuming process, and you got to put a wall covering because that's really ugly. But with this stuff, experience is everything, guys. So don't cheap out with this. You don't have to get the most expensive company because there's guys out there that will gouge you and charge you ridiculous amounts of money for this too. But whoever you go with, if you don't use my guy, if you use somebody else, look at pictures of their work. That's going to be the number one indicator that they know what they're doing, that they've been doing this for a while. If you see pictures or jobs where it looks like, you know, caves where you got stalactites, or it's all lumpy and bumpy on the walls and ceiling, you probably want to stay away from a guy like that because they haven't been doing it long or they just don't care. Even if you plan to put wall covering on it, if you have guys that don't lay this down smooth enough, you're going to be shaving it and chipping it and cutting it off and trying to get it smooth so that you can get your wall covering to lay flush over it. You don't want that either. Guys, now that we're all insulated up, the next step in this process is going to be for me to put some paint on the ceiling, which I'm going to get started on tomorrow. Then after that, it's time to start making this building our own. We're talking about electrical. We're talking about building out all of our frame stuff, putting lifts in, moving our tools in, and moving our vehicles back in. Oh, guys, we are getting so close to getting back to working on cars that I can taste it. I want to give a huge shout out again to Best Choice Spray Foam Insulation. Thank you so much, guys. I am super happy with my product. I hope you guys get some business out of this video. You deserve it and you earned it. And you know what, guys? An even bigger thanks to each and every one of you and sticking with me through this. I know this is a car channel. We're supposed to be working on cars and building out street rods and all that fun stuff. And we'll be getting back to that real soon. So for all you guys that have been here and stuck with me through this stuff that isn't car builds, man, I really, really appreciate you guys. I just want to give you a huge thanks again. Anyway, guys, as always, until next time, I'll see you back in the shop.